Woodcraft!
Who are these folk all dressed in green? We are Woodcraft Folk, and we have been going for over 90 years. My name's Michelle Collins, and I'm an actress. I'd like to take you on a trip through our history via some Woodcraft Folk films.
Action!
I joined the Woodcraft Folk when I was 14, in the mid-70s. Before I knew it, I'd met hundreds of young people from all over the world. But it all started back in 1925.
It was entirely established by the young people themselves. I got together a group of young friends, and we met sitting on kitchen chairs in my mother's back garden, and we discussed, as it were, the setting up of a training group for leaders of future groups. Because there wasn't one of us at that meeting in my back garden who was over 21. We were part of a quite significant agitation among young people at the end of the First World War. Our brothers and fathers, many of them had been killed, so we were, as it were, the survivors, and we were now deeply troubled as a generation.
The first grants were small, like this one for £5 for camping equipment, but Leslie and the group persisted. And after a while, we were getting more help from larger sources.
Support came from the Cooperative Union and many trade union bodies.
And soon we were off camping. So from humble beginnings and big aspirations, that was the start of the Woodcraft Folk. We grew, from a few guys in a back garden to hundreds of groups across the country. There's not much film of those early years, but there are photos, magazines, posters, badges, lots and lots of badges. Jump forward to 1968. It's the height of the Cold War between the East and West, with the constant threat of real war breaking out. By now, the Woodcraft Folk is an international cooperative youth organisation.
Here, in one small part of just one country, have come together boys and girls from all over the world. The frontiers and divisions that keep their parents apart, the walls which grown-ups build against themselves, do not exist here. Why are they here? What do they stand for? Just simply for the good of the human race, of which they are its next generation.
Declare it's the family of man, keeps growing, the family of man, keeps sowing the seeds of a new life every day.
And what is their creed? Span the world with friendship.
At the age of 14, in 1976, I went on a Woodcraft Folk international camp in Romania. 4 weeks of excitement, romance, and spanning the world with friendship. Bringing people together has always been part of the Woodcraft Folk. My new friends lasted me a lifetime.
There is no more an east or west than there is a good or bad child. There is only bad example, lack of understanding, confusion of social purpose, the prejudice of ignorance.
That we have cried peace to all men, and claimed kinship with every living thing. That we hate war and sloth and greed, and love fellowship, and that we should go singing to the fashioning of a new world.
In 1975, around the time I joined, we made this film about one family discovering the Woodcraft Folk.
Children, they never listen to a word you say.
Does this really have to be our world? The second-hand life of the square box. Here, neighbour is cut off from neighbour.
Back then, parents worried about TV rotting children's minds, killing conversation with its powerful 3 channels of black and white viewing. Luckily, our family had a wood nearby to escape the gogglebox. They stumble upon something strange.
Hello? What do you suppose they are? Scouts or guides or something? Have a look up there. Grey squirrels' nests.
Oh, yes.
Alan?
But the children don't stay there. They decide to join the other kids.
Alan, what do you think you're doing over there?
That's all right, love. He's all right here with us.
Now, we'll play a wide game. Now, this side are 9 each tribe hiding in the fort.
Hello. Hello.
Are the children in the way?
Oh, they're enjoying themselves. They're having a lovely time over there.
You Boy Scouts or Cubs or something?
No, they don't mix boys and girls the way we do. We call ourselves the Woodcraft Folk.
Grow strong and straight like the pine.
Children usually meet once a week in the local school or hall.
What are they doing?
Our family has been invited along to the next local Woodcraft Folk meeting.
I'll be with you in a minute.
Well, guess what? Our whole family join up, with our parents helping out as leaders.
It's not just bandages and sticking plasters. It's wearing the right kind of footwear on a hike. It's discovering that a map can come alive. That's all part of our education for living. But there are things that one can learn only by experience.
There are 3 age groups for Woodcraft Folk: the Elfins from 6 to 9, Pioneers from 10 to 13, and Venturers from 14 to 17. The movement is based on the family. The leaders of a group are often somebody's mother or father, or an older teenager who has grown up in the folk.
Since then, we have started the wood chips for under 6s. And then we added district fellows for 16 to 20-year-olds.
Contemporary games and music making may differ. Fashions may change, but aims and principles remain.
From Europe.
Today we play more cooperative games. We've got new technology, new ways of campaigning, and new things to campaign about.
Renewable energy instead of nuclear power plants and oil.
We still make films at camps and meetings, but these days we tend to make them ourselves on our phones and with our cameras. Whatever has changed over the last 9 decades, we still stand for peace, cooperation, anti-racism, international friendship, having fun, getting outdoors, and changing the world. That's our heritage. Coming up to our 100th birthday in 2025, it's up to us to decide what to take into the future.
Pam and Jack wondered what they'd done with their time before. Before the Woodcraft Folk. Before the camping. Best of all, the camping.
Who are these folks who dress in green? We hear the people say. They ask if we're some foreign scouts from here on holiday. We answer all the questions in a very simple way. We are the Woodcraft Folk. After beating of a tom-tom, see the sun upon us autumn, and the party for